what do you get when you cross David Goggins and William Shakespeare? You get my boy Alan. Alan is one of the most impressive writers on Twitter. He takes his body through these gauntlets and then writes about it. And why he's on Founder Juice is because founders need that mindset, that obsessive mindset that athletes have. He calls it insanity. And we go through all these topics like burnout and insanity and how we all need it. So I'm sure you're gonna love this workshop. Let's get it. All right, bro. Let's get into. All right. So you got your 2 pages.
Yeah, I got my papers there.
All right. Imagine your life,
Yeah,
peak impact.
yeah.
Just put yourself there. Like everything, you're kind of it's there. You're at peak impact. I want you to draw that impact at that moment.
Okay. When you say draw that, so in terms of
Whatever comes to you, you just can't use words. So you can use abstract shapes. You can, bring out your Picasso, whatever that means to you. You just express it on the page.
okay, and when you say peak impact, so like my ideal situation of where I
Yes,
would be.
peak.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. No restraints. No, oh, I might not make it. Just everything's unlocked for you, and you've reached the peak.
Is there a time limit on this?
Nah.
Nah. It's difficult. I've always been more of a writer than a drawer, so it's a difficult one. How detailed do you want this thing?
It's not for me, bro. This is for you. You can make it as detailed as you like.
Yeah, nah, I got a few things. Yeah, I think I'm done for now.
All right. Show it to me
Yeah.
and explain it.
Okay. There's not too much on it, but there's a few things.
Mm.
Don't know if you can you see that?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see the whole thing,
Yeah.
but so we got mountains being at the top of mountains, but I drew it in the wrong place. I wanted to have high mountains because, like, sort of to describe, I never want to feel like I'm at the top. I want to feel like there's another peak to climb.
Mhm.
And then I had just a little book with fire, and then times 20 is just like a little goal. If I could have 20 books one day, that would be pretty fucking cool. And then just clouds sort of representing some sort of freeing feeling, just being in the clouds. I don't know, when I'm on an airplane, although I'm not a big fan of the takeoff, like when I'm in the clouds, there's something, I don't know, spiritual about being in the clouds, So I thought that would be a little detail to add. And then a little barbell here with loads of people on it, sort of describing like if I can get loads of fucking people to move, to lift, to express themselves through throwing around weights, that would be pretty cool. Then a monkey climbing from tree to tree, just another, again, free and feeling like I'm not locked in by anything, and I can swing from tree to tree. I can divert if I want to. I can do anything like a monkey can swing to any tree. Then I got this path of fire, and it only leads up into more fire. I don't know if you can see, like, just to show, like, I never, again, similar to the mountain thing, I never want to feel like the fire ends. I feel like we're only ever happy when we're fighting things like fire, or sacrificing, and when we're running towards a goal. Like, you're never happy when you have the goal. You're always happy in the pursuit of the goal. Then eventually I'd like to get the dragon's head on a pike. So that's what this is. This is poor attempt at a dragon with a knife going into its head. And then also there's like a little #1 medal, a little with loads of people on the side of it. Again, similar to the barbell theory of, like, although I want to win and get my idea of success, I also want the people around me and the people that I connect with to have the same. So it's that idea of everyone's winning, not just me. And then also on the bottom, just see, again, similar to the idea of the clouds, with that freeing feeling. There's something about the water as well that's just like super freeing, but also the water is super devastating. So it's about, like, remaining humble and realizing you're never more than what you are. You are just a subject to what nature, to what life wants to give you. But in the same sense, life can give you everything, but it can also take everything. Yeah, just a little drawing.
Love it.
Yeah.
So there's like going from peak to peak, freedom to do that, maybe publishing 20 books.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, you can do it.
Mm,
You know, you want people to win. You want to motivate people to win,
mm,
and yeah, it's like conquering
Dragon.
your dragons
Mm.
and remaining humble throughout that journey.
Oh yeah, and that's the main thing. I never want to, and not that I don't think I ever would, just because of how I've been brought up and what I've experienced. But like, I never want to feel like I'm better than anyone, or I've hit the peak. I know everything. I can do everything. Because the moment you think that, I think the moment you're down, you're sort of down,
Yeah,
full starts. You know.
love it. All right, so you reach that peak.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine you're at the peak. You have the 20 books,
Mm-hmm.
right? Athletes that work with you
Mm,
are winning championships,
mm.
right? Everybody on your Instagram followers or whatever, they're also crushing it, tagging you and everything.
Yeah.
All right, you're there. What imagine you're there, and what opportunities do you want to attract at that moment? Like, what would be such a cool opportunity to have?
Um, Being able to use my sort of leverage to talk to and connect with people that inspire me, that would be pretty cool.
Like who? Like be
Um,
specific. Like what is like
oh,
specific
there's
opportunity?
so many, but to name a few, sounds like crazy, but because obviously I played football for a long time, like in a kid, so a lot of people I look up to are like footballers. Well, before anyway,
Mhm,
so like Ronaldo, that would be pretty
mhm,
cool.
mhm,
There's a few fighters,
mhm,
Topuria, that would be pretty cool.
mhm.
A few of the also like pundits on the I don't know, you been to UFC?
I
Yeah,
haven't been,
yeah.
but I would like
There's a because I've done I've done quite a lot of combat sports, so being able to like train with them, use my leverage on what I've been able to put in the world to connect and train with certain fighters like um, Daniel Cormier, Jon Jones, that'd be pretty cool. Like I said,
Mhm,
Topuria, that'd be pretty cool. And also like write pieces on them. Like it would be cool if I could sort of, whether they come to me or I go to them and be
mhm,
like, can I like write a piece on you, like this like
mhm,
metaphorical piece that describes your run to the championship or your mentality, for
mhm,
example. That'd be pretty cool. Or like some sort of like interview basis where I can talk to
mhm,
them, get an idea of who they are, what's actually
mhm,
going on in their mind, and then create a writing piece on them and have like
mhm.
a series of different people. That'd be pretty fucking cool. But whether that's realistic, who knows? But that's pretty cool.
It's realistic,
Uh,
bro. Like that's the beauty
yeah,
of life is that
yeah. Anything is.
it's a canvas,
Yeah, it's true.
and
Yeah,
sure you can run the playbook that has already been written, but you can write
yeah,
your own playbook. Like if
yeah.
it's
No, for
possible,
sure.
like
Yeah,
I would I will bet you, right?
yeah,
What's his name? Dana White
yeah,
would have on his coffee table
mm,
a book of
yeah,
like his best fighters in
yeah,
metaphorical
yeah,
poetry.
yeah. That's true. Yeah, 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 yeah.
He'd buy
That's
it
good.
today,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
that
Nah,
is that.
when you put it like that, like why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? Yeah, if there
Why
was a
not?
book that basically described the mentality of his five best fighters,
Mhm.
that's a perfect promotion point for the UFC. Even if you partnered with the
Yeah,
UFC to
it's
put
just
that
like
out.
the number is the thing that we need to break through. It's
Yeah,
his 100, his 50 best fighters. Like that's the kind of
yeah,
output
yeah.
that
You need
you need, and people want
yeah
to
support.
and be
Yeah,
wowed by it, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
you want to give them something that is out of reach for their mind. Like
yeah,
I couldn't come up with that if I tried,
yeah, yeah. That's so
and
true.
that's the kind of output that you need to aspire for, right?
Yeah.
I love that.
No, yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
yeah,
There's so many things that
uh,
we can go through.
such a good answer. Next
Yeah,
question:
yeah.
what is your proudest moment?
Proudest moment. Proudest moment. To be honest,
Yeah.
it was probably it wasn't so much a moment, more of a process. It was so I've torn both my ACLs in both
Okay.
legs and had surgeries and rehabbed, and I done one at 16 and then the other at 19. and that was sort of like my football. I tried to go back playing football after that, but I just didn't have that same like fire. I was like, this shit's taken more from me than it's given me. But coming back from the second one, like when I tore that second one, I knew exactly what had happened because of the feeling on the first one. It's like a pop, pain, excruciating, like, and instantly you just can't walk. Or like after 5 or so minutes once it swells up. And like knowing, like when that second pop happened and when I was 19, like knowing, okay, this, like, it's sort of watching not your dreams but your aspirations and the way you thought your life was going to go, like just crumble underneath you, and feeling so out of control and feeling like, well, what happens next? How do I not disappoint my parents or my dad or whatever? And then doing the surgery and also the rehab for that's like a year long, and it's super like it's super like taxing because everything in your life just sort of has to pause. And it's all right for people who are already professionals because they're being paid, they have this big old support network of everyone at the club, whatever. But when you have like nothing and that was your only outlet, and then to come out through that, to rehab through that, to come back better from that, and in such a good mental space and realize nothing, like after doing something like that, obviously people have gone through worse, whether that be famine, super like poor financial situation, whatever, but going through something that you didn't think you were going to get through and come out in a much better space was like a process and a moment where it was like you could literally do anything. You can be so down and out mentally and still get to the other side. And whether it's the proudest moment, I don't know, but it's a moment that's like changed my life and my mentality for a lot of things, and to not just be defined by your circumstances, but to take those circumstances, grab them by the fucking nuts and twist them into your favor, essentially.
So what is the what was the redefining moment? Like what was the before your future? You were like, hell yeah, Tottenham Hotspur, let's go, or like something like that, and then something happened that you were like,
Wait, what do you mean?
like,
Sorry.
what was the dream
Oh,
before
before.
the second ACL
Yeah, so
injury, and then after rehab, what
then allowed me
because
to
you defined yourself in a certain way. It was like an
yeah.
identity crisis almost.
Yeah, so
Right?
because when you play football from 10 your whole life or even younger, and your whole thing is like, I'm going to be a footballer, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and you have opportunities come your way, and it's like it looks good. Then you have your first ACL, and that's it happens, but you get over it. Like that was heartbreaking still, but you realize it's not over. And then you're getting a bit older now. COVID happens, so you miss a couple of years of football because everything stopped. And obviously COVID had its own mental struggles. Like everyone was like, oh, what's even going to happen? And then you come back, and it was like my third game back, that one happens, and then you just think like, shit, this football thing isn't going to happen anymore. And then you're just that's when I started the Amazon stuff. So then it was like, this, I can't, like, I don't want to even play football anymore if this is all it's going to do is take from me and not give to me. So then you have to start thinking about other ways. And I would say, yeah, that redefining moment was then having surgery and then having to rehab. And during that rehab, it was more than just a rehab of your physical self. It's like your mental self. For me, anyway, at that point, at that stage of my life, at that specific moment, it was almost like it had to happen to realize and twist your whole mindset and how you see things. Like the way I can now bounce back from all these minor inconveniences is because I've realized, and it gives you confidence in what you can do, what you can be, what you can do if you put your mind to it. And I would say that my whole mindset now is because of that getting injured, realizing your dreams have just fallen through your fingers, of not wanting, of that you can't be a professional footballer anymore, you can't make it a living, you can't support people around you through this sport, and understanding and also forcing yourself to look deeper, because I feel like especially here everyone wants to be this footballer and they don't even know why. They just think, oh, they get loads of money, I want to be this footballer, and they don't actually look into like who they are and what they want to be. Like I said, from when I was really young, I was writing all these stories and writing all the time. And that all dies. That whole creative side dies because you're like, oh, I just need to train and be a footballer. And if that's truly what you want, then fair enough. But for me, I had to go through that to realize that isn't what I wanted. That is what I thought I wanted because of what people have put onto you.
So when was that first time that you were like, I need to get back to writing? Like what Like, what
That
was the
that
first thing
so
you
that
wrote?
that
Yeah.
point that was about just over a year ago now. So it was
Mhm,
2024 summer,
mhm,
where I was like, I just completely had like internal combustion
mhm,
and just blew up and was like, what is the point of life? Like, what am I doing here? Because the point isn't just to make money. Money helps,
mhm,
money's a tool, but
mhm,
what would I be happy doing? Say if the currency was energy
mhm,
and there was no dollars, there was no pounds, there was none of that. What would you do? Like, if we were obviously primal times, there was limited what they could do. They was just
mhm,
eat, create, and hunt or
mhm,
whatever. But like, if there was no currency, you didn't have to pay for
mhm,
anything. Like, what would you do to fulfill yourself?
mhm,
And then that is when it was creation, because
mhm,
that's when I had like got big again on journaling,
mhm,
and then the journaling went from like just journal entries of describing your day to then putting them into metaphors and sort of unlocking that 10-year-old me again, you know, and like
mhm,
really peeling back all the layers and just turning these emotions and these thoughts and these experiences into stories that weren't real, using very dramatic language like I do now, like
mhm,
linking all these things, because in reality nothing is like when I talk about burning in the fire and all that stuff,
mhm.
like it's not literal, but it's how your mind puts these things. I don't know how to best describe it, but it's
You
how
don't
your
have to
mind
describe it.
copes.
That's
Yeah,
something that every time, like you were like talking about something, and you're like,
yeah,
"That's gay," and I
yeah,
laughed because the timing of it was so great. Like, it was so hilarious. But then you went on this like, you know,
tangent.
diversion where you were just
Yeah,
trying to explain and whatever. Like,
yeah,
they get it. You know, people
yeah,
get that you're not,
yeah,
literal, or like
yeah,
you're,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
tongue
exactly.
in
It's
cheek,
all
and
like,
it's fine. You don't have to explain yourself.
yeah,
Like,
it's all
the
just like a
part of the
form of
art
expression.
is leaving that
That
bit out.
question. Yeah, 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 exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it's also like how people can interpret it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing about writing is someone could see it, and for one person it could link to one thing, for another it
Mhm.
could link to a whole other thing on the end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
And um that is something I also enjoy.
Uh,
But regardless, yeah, the journal entries then started turning into like little stories, and then all my journal entries started. It's like a hybrid of
mhm,
things that are happening, and then going into thoughts, and then putting those thoughts into different ways and different formats. Like it didn't matter on punctuation, it didn't matter on structure too much. It was just what
mhm,
flowed to me.
mhm,
And then I just was like, why am I not putting out content on things that I love, things that I care about?
mhm,
I like writing, I like fitness, I like helping people, I like
mhm,
inspiring people. I would always do it because my girlfriend would always be like, why do you not put this online? Like when
mhm,
when she comes to me with like most women sort of do, or
mhm,
girlfriends, they'll come to you with like a problem or a rant. And then you can just sort of break it down and give a solution driven answer and like a way
mhm.
to actually digest it, rather than add fuel to the fire and let them go on a crazy
Yeah.
sort of mental tear.
Mhm,
And then yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, fuck it. Why am I not talking about this online? Like, what's the worst that can happen? You connect to people
mhm,
that think similar to you, that are inspired by you, that you can be inspired by. Um, and then that got a bit of traction, like connecting with people.
mhm,
And then yeah, you just then end up connecting with all these different people that you're so alike that you would never
mhm,
meet in real life,
mhm.
you know, because it's
Yeah.
through a lot of people on the other side of the world in America. I would have
Mhm.
never met you if I never posted. I would have never met
Absolutely,
Zach. I
yeah.
would have, yeah, all these people that you
Mhm,
speak to, that I speak to now on a daily basis. I would have never even known if you just didn't have from that journal entry that then turned
mhm.
into that metaphor, you
Yeah.
know, and that then allows you to unlock that 10-year-old self that was so free, that wasn't corrupted by life, wasn't corrupted by expectations, and just did
Yeah.
what was fun to him, you know.
That's great. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So the idea is just to create a life. Obviously as you get older, shit happens, like life isn't as simple as when you're 10, but it's to get as close to that as possible and to stay as free thinking as that 10-year-old self. That's the
I
goal.
love it. And
Yeah.
is since we're on that, like, line, like, are there explicit, like, principles that animate your work? Like, things you believe in a little extra?
What do you mean?
Like, if you're gonna say, "These are, like, the 3 fires that, like, fuel my
That
work."
motivate me?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
Yeah, I
uh
would.
like,
So
for example, with Steve Jobs, right? Like,
yeah,
the Bauhaus design movement was something that he was like, "Wow, amazing,"
yeah, yeah, yeah,
function, and
yeah.
he's into it. Like, so are there, like, principles like that in your life?
I sort of just find inspiration from everything, and that's what's sort of been created over the last, I don't know, 6 to 8 months. Is like I try to just look at everything from like a clean canvas and take inspiration from everything. And in that moment, if I feel inspired by a font or a color or a design or an advert or whatever it is, I try to write some sort, whether it be on notes or I have like a little journal that I take with me. Just try to write something in that moment that allows me to sort of capture that, and then I can then start writing about it. If I'm already at my computer and I see something, like I feel like compelled, okay, I need to fucking start chomping something out about this and turn it into this like little metaphorical story in my head. So it's not as such specific things, it's more I just try to take it from everything.
What is the metaphorical story? Like, I feel like you've said that a bunch of times, and I'm super curious. Like, well, what is that for you? Like, when
for me, like it's putting sometimes mundane experiences and experiences that seem very surface level layer, and then turning it into this blood, fire, and gut story that then can get someone hyped up, get me hyped up, get me sort of invigorated for life, from even just from seeing a car go super fast by you. Like there's thrill in that, there's fire in that, there's guts in that, there's courage, and then turning that into a little like a metaphorical story of how you can then attack life with speed, with intensity, with intent, you know. And it's literally little things like that that then get my mind like sort of the cogs going, and then turn that into what people see as fucking this crazy insane guy just putting out thoughts.
I love it. So like you kind of, I don't know, like I'm looking at a cabinet right now, right? So
Yeah,
you look at a cabinet, and then you're like,
you can look at the
what is
screws
that
that make
fire behind it? Like
well, you
the
look
guy,
at the person who invented the cabinet. Like, why did he obviously needed somewhere to store things? So then his mind got thinking. He then put a few screws together, put a bit of wood together, put a handle on it, realized, oh, we can open this thing, we can close this thing, you know. And it's the creativity and the mindset it takes to go from zero to having no cabinet and just a bunch of files to then creating this big fucking monster that can store all these files and then selling that to the world, you know.
I love it. No, it's fantastic. It's like you raise the stakes of everything, and
everything
it
is like,
becomes so
is life or
animated.
death. He obviously in his head he was like, fuck, if I don't build this fucking cabinet, I'm never gonna store these files.
I love it. I love that so much. You know,
Yeah,
like I would definitely like, bottle that, enhance it, amplify it, make it,
exactly. And it's
like
turning that, and
exaggerate.
for some people that's dramatic. They'll be like even whether it be a parent or a friend, they'll be like, why are you deep in it so much? But I'm like, this, how can you not deep it? You know, like how can you even
it's
have a
authentic.
deodorant can? Look, this deodorant can, like to spray that, like the mechanics that someone has then thought out and planned in their head to then get this spray to come out like that, to give you a decent smell. It's freaking crazy.
It's insane. I love it. No, it's great. Like if there was a principle, that'll be it, I think. Like
Yeah,
because you're really good at that, and
yeah,
it's so. I do get hyped. Like when I read your pieces, like I told you, like the unicorn one was
yeah,
great, but like it
yeah.
was so hard to read.
No, I did think that as
Yeah,
well.
yeah,
But I tried using it. I thought I had replied to you, but I didn't,
yeah,
because when I went back on Twitter, it would
yeah,
thing, and then it was gone too long. I was like, oh, it
yeah.
doesn't
It's
matter.
fine.
But I had darkened it, but it just didn't. I don't know. It didn't look right. Whereas the
It wasn't
colors,
insane enough.
they did. Yeah, they did something to my brain. I was like, I can't. I know
Yeah,
it's not readable as much as it could be, but I have to put
yeah,
it out.
yeah. No, it's great. All right. So like if you're thinking about like in terms of audience, like who's your audience? Like
Well, it's people. My ideal audience. Like, obviously, I would ideally want to people that write more, people that are more creative thinking, that don't move
no,
as
not
much.
your ideal audience. Like we need to get you out of
Oh yeah, the
shoulds
specific.
into
Yeah,
realities, right?
yeah.
Like who would eat that up?
Well,
That
people
kind of content.
that sort of it could be, yeah, people that either already super motivated and they sort of find this sort of stuff intoxicating when they see things that inspire them, words that inspire them, or people that are super down and out and they need that fire that light, like ignited. They need that person, that word, that sentence, that line, whatever it is, that design, whatever it is, they need that one thing to make them fucking like switch out and be like, shit, life's short. If I don't fucking move now, I'm gonna die, you know, and I'm gonna get stuck in this.
That one's a little aspirational. It's not a real. I think what you're trying to say is maybe ambitious people who haven't started, not
Yeah,
people who are
but
down and out. Because there are people who are down and out that
yeah, they don't want to listen to that.
they don't want to
Yeah,
elevate or anything. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
like
more people that know there's more there, but are looking for an extra spark. Like
ambitious
they
people.
yeah,
That's
ambitious people. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what
yeah,
it is.
ambitious people. Yeah,
Yeah,
because it's
ambitious
also
people.
people that are doing well and are motivated. That
Mhm.
then when they see people that have a similar energy or a similar mindset, they're then intoxicated off it. So yeah,
Then
it's just ambitious people.
leaning into that, right? Like, because when you're thinking about, because this is like a target market exercise in
Yeah.
business, right? So we're thinking about like this as a brand, so it's audience. But when you think about markets and targets and all of that,
Mm.
it's good to think about extremes.
Yeah.
So a good way to think about this is there like a disease of ambition? You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
who are the extremely ambitious? Like for example, OXO Good Groups, the kitchen utensil company.
Nah.
Anyways, there's a kitchen utensil company called OXO Good Groups. The
Yeah.
founders had arthritis,
Oh.
so he designed all of these kitchen utensils to
Mm.
be arthritis friendly.
Wow. That's crazy.
But now it's one of the biggest kitchen utensil companies in the world because people want comfortable grips anyway.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Whether they have
exactly. And you want to
arthritis or
prevent
not.
it, right? Like you
Yeah,
don't want to get arthritis.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
so
Wow.
him thinking about that extreme kind of captured the rest of the
Everyone
market.
else.
So
Yeah.
with this, you're saying super motivated, ambitious people. What is the extreme, almost the diseased version
Yeah,
of it?
it's like obsession, right? It's people that can't not think about their goals. People that like
Who
even
are these
you
people? Who are they? Like what kind of profession they're in? What
well, it's
where do you find them?
from my experience when it's the people I've connected with, people I've spoken to, it's either business owners or like extreme elite athletes where anytime they're not exercising, it feels like they're wasting time. Anytime they're not working on their business, feels like the plague, feels like, what am I doing? I'm not doing enough. I'm never doing enough. And it's usually found in them two domains, business owners and
Athletes.
elite athletes.
Athletes.
Because they're very intertwined. They're very intertwined. There's people that, and you probably have a similar thing. Like, I think it's different when you start to have kids and stuff, but
Mhm,
because you sort of are forced to have that downtime.
mhm,
I've seen from like my siblings and stuff, but when you haven't got that, any time that's not going towards self-improvement or progression or your business or fitness or whatever, it just feels like I'm wasting my potential. So it's that
yeah.
extreme, like you said, disease. That's the best way to define it.
Yeah, the business owners and the elite athletes. I think you've crossed
Mm.
uh, uh, yeah, and like it's exactly so those extreme founders like Steve Jobs, like those like
Yeah,
just
yeah,
obsessed motherfucking
yeah,
founders. And like
yeah.
with the athletes, it's not even elite athletes, it's like yeah, elite athletes like you're talking like
Well,
your Kobe
it's anyone
Bryants.
that loves, yeah, yeah. It's anyone that loves their craft, and that craft could be running, could be football, it could be a business. It
Yeah.
could be like you said, building utensils that um are built for people with arthritis. Like it's just
Yeah.
people that are obsessed with one thing, and anything outside of that feels like a waste of time.
Love it. What are their pains?
I would say for athletes, it can be a comparison game. So
Mhm,
it's constantly comparing to what other people are doing, and if they're constantly doing enough, and just always looking left or right rather than just down the middle. Trust your process, trust your program, trust what you're doing.
mhm,
And again, probably a similar thing with business owners. Like you're constantly looking left and right, constantly comparing the landscape, the market, rather than just focus on how good can you make yourself or your product or your brand,
mhm,
and really focusing on your leakages. Like for a business, it could be costs, it could be actual product. How good is your product? Like, is your product not good enough? Is it your marketing? For an athlete, it could be depending on what sport you're doing, obviously, but say running, are you not doing enough of a certain zone 2 work or threshold work? Like
mhm.
this, just focusing on what you can do better, or your recovery, even. That's another pain point for probably business owners, but more athletes, like not recovering well
You cut
enough to
out.
then push hard again for the. Oh, sorry. Can you hear
Uh,
me?
no,
It's
yeah, you,
frozen.
you cut out. You cut out for like 10 seconds. Yeah.
Oh,
So like, yeah, I got their pains, comparison, distractions,
yeah.
weaknesses,
Yeah, distraction. Yeah,
recovery,
yeah,
and yeah. Tell me about the recovery thing.
yeah. So it probably applies to business owners in a way, like because if people, the problem is people want things too fast. Same with fitness,
Mhm,
same with success and money. People want things instantly. They want it now. They want it in 6 months rather than looking at 10 years.
mhm,
Rather than look at what can I build how much fitness can I build over 10 years or 5 years, or how much can I grow this business in, or what vision do we have for this business over 10 years, rather than how much money can I make in a year, and you see that's a common theme throughout super ambitious people. There's no patience. But I feel like if you can link patience and ambition, and it's like almost passive aggressiveness, it's aggression but with controlled efforts, I think you have the concoction for like to take over whatever it is you do.
I love it. So what is the pitch? Like, what are you offering? What is the offer? What are you offering these people?
Well, what, in an ideal world?
In this direction we're going in, where it's like artistic expression, like what are they getting out of your art?
Good question. I would say, again, it depends on the sort of person they are, whether they just want that intoxication, that like sort of injection of motivation and inspiration, or they're in a worse place and they're looking to have that spark, to reignite that spark. But I would say,
let's be a little more surgical about it, right?
yeah,
Like the speed one, like when you were like, you wrote about speed, right? People love
yeah,
that shit. They're like, hell yeah, this
yeah,
can go fast.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
What did they get out of that one? Like what, like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
let's start diagnosing this pain, right? It's not just motivation and inspiration, because you can make that almost
anywhere,
argument for a lot of things,
anything. Mm.
right? But what is it about this like brand of insanity where it's like,
Well, it's about pushing yourself to limits that you didn't think were there, and to thresholds that you thought weren't there. It's about discovering a certain level of pain tolerance that you didn't know was there. So really identifying a level of work rate, output, iteration, whatever your thing is. If it's fitness, you're then discovering a new level of work rate. If it's a business, again, work rate, more hours, more output that you didn't know was there. So it's about, I would say that more discovering that level of insanity, because there's a difference between working hard and working insanely hard.
yeah,
There's always another level to push, and and again, it can be a bit contradicting with, like, obviously you don't want to compare, and that comes from, like, sometimes comparing can be good to ignite your own fire, but I think a lot of time you just need to focus on how hard can I physically push without going over the cliff. That's that edge of insanity of
what
being
happens
on the
then?
cliff.
Like, because I feel like we're getting it onto something, right? Because
Yeah,
you said intoxication. I like intoxication more than motivation and inspiration, right?
yeah,
You're getting intoxicated with this idea of pushing limits,
mm,
discovering your pain boundaries, I guess, or
yeah,
what's
yeah,
beyond your pain boundaries,
yeah,
and
pushing that
then
threshold.
and then finding a new gear, like more
Mm.
output, more work rate. That what happens then? Like once you're fully broken down, what appear like? What's the spiritual, I guess,
Well, once you break yourself down, you realize what you're
beauty?
made of. You realize, for me, when I've
Without
pushed to
cliches, without using cliches, use words that have not been put in the same sequence before, right? Like,
yeah. So what you're asking is what happens when you push to that limit?
yeah, what is the end goal? Like, I'm getting, because, for example, right,
Mm,
when people look at, you know, a baby, right,
mm,
they're like, they get this kind of autistic emotion
yeah,
where it's like, oh, pure innocence. What I
yeah,
would give to go back to that innocent, and you get this like
yeah,
kind of feeling, or like when you see a piece of art and it
yeah.
has this
Brings
effect on you, brings you
emotion.
down to tears, and like there's like a spiritual
Yeah,
aspect, right?
yeah,
And there is that with your work, right?
yeah.
What is that? Like, okay, it's insanity. It's breaking down. It's
Okay, so what
what
I
is
want
that?
people to feel from my stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I want people to basically run into a brick wall and be willing to run into a brick
What
wall.
happens after? What
Well, you then get
they
the
run
result.
in the brick wall,
When you
right?
run into brick walls, you either go through the wall
Mhm.
and you go out the other side, you make that money, you get that aspect of fitness that you want, or you're knocked down to a level where then you just feel almost like with the baby, like complete innocence. You've had your layers like just sort of ripped apart. And I can only go off my experience when I push to that limit, where you just feel like you have nothing left, but you also have everything at the same time. if that makes any sense. I don't know if that makes, it's hard to like make sense of the feeling. That's why when you say like, what do you get? It's hard to truly describe into words. It's more, it has to be felt. You have to push that limit and feel it. But
I
selling that
understand.
is
I
tough.
understand that, but I want you to home in
No, you need to be able
on
to
that.
like put it into words and deliver
Like
that to someone, right?
I'm just gonna go extreme with it just because I have a little context, right?
Yeah.
I feel like that is the feeling you felt when you tore your second ACL.
Yeah.
It's like you pushed yourself. You were like David Beckham, hold my beer, right?
Yeah.
You were like, I'm gonna work super hard. All the scouts are gonna see me, whatever.
Yeah.
And you kind of went over, right? Like
Yeah.
you weren't. You just pushed over, and
Yeah.
at first it was misery. It was like, oh no, and like all these expectations were
Mm.
like, and then you were left with this new spiritual
Yeah.
point of view that you were like, you know what,
Do I want this?
this is what people should do,
Yeah.
is go over like, oh,
Well, it's
you
like Icarus, right? You got to fly too close to the sun to realize how close is too close.
yeah, and exactly,
Yeah.
you put that
Yeah.
in the Icarus thing where it's like,
Yeah.
hey, maybe, you know, everybody's like talking shit about Icarus, but maybe he did want to get burned. Maybe he did want to
Well, the
fly
only
all
way,
that.
obviously, we're again, Icarus is a massive metaphorical term, but you're not going to be burnt by the sun. But and in life, you can always recover. Like you might go too far beyond, then all you do is reset. But you're never going to know what beyond is if you never go there. So you're always going to ask what if or have regrets. You might get to 90 years old and be like, maybe I could have worked harder. I don't want to get to that. I want to get to 90-year-old and be like, I worked to my limits 20 million times and found new limits 20 million times.
I guess what's the case for intentionally going out and shattering your knees? You know what I mean?
Well,
Like
that's obviously a bit different. Yeah.
not in the insane,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
obviously
literal
different.
ways
Like,
of it, but like,
because with them, it was that opposition coming in on a certain tackle, and my knees just weren't strong enough at the time. But by doing that, by having those, by
yeah,
that
it was a lack of
happening,
education. It was a lack of
yeah.
education. I get it, but in your mind,
But by
it
doing
was
that, I was then allowed to rehab and build stronger legs. To then, I haven't had any knee problems since those. But that would by them happening, it exposed a weakness in my body, in my game that I had to level up on. So by pushing to those limits, to like answer your question, to push those limits, you learn what you need to work on. You learn
I
what
get
you're not
that,
good
but
at.
there's a different answer. Like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna keep pushing because like you had this dream
Mm,
that was almost implanted like a virus, like
yeah. That's a
exogenous
perfect way to put
exogenous
it. Yeah.
feeling, right?
Yeah. Like
Where
Elon's neurochip thing.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Someone was like, you know, kind of intercepted you like 10 years old
Yeah.
and was like, you need to be a soccer player, like a
Yeah.
footballer, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And put the thing in, and then it kind of took over your life, and you're like, let's go, right?
Yeah.
But you pushed so hard that you realized that wasn't your
I
dream.
hated it. Yeah.
But if you haven't pushed that hard,
I would never known that.
you might be in Tottenham Hotspur right now on
Well,
the
yeah.
benches, right?
But
And
would
you're
I have
like,
wanted that?
what?
I don't know if I would have wanted that truly. Like as a
I understand. But what I'm
yeah.
saying is, without this mentality of
Mm,
insanity, you
mm,
might be stuck in some shit you don't want for all your life,
mm,
which is a reality a lot of people have,
yeah.
which is the attraction in your work, where it's like,
Mm.
what if I like? Because I
What
tell
if
this,
I could?
yeah,
Yeah.
I tell people this all the time, like
Yeah.
whatever it is, go full speed because if you
Mm,
don't, you're gonna spend 20 years. Like, imagine you
yeah.
spend another 10 years doing this agency stuff or this
Yeah.
Amazon stuff or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
You're still wasting time.
Yeah. It's true.
Instead of saying, "Oh, how can I make whatever $10 million in this Amazon thing in the next 6 months?" and just going fucking nuts, and then
Yeah.
realizing maybe, you know, maybe I don't want to do this Amazon stuff.
Yeah.
Right?
That's the only way you learn, right? Is by going at that full speed and learning, like iterating a million times within the space of a year and
Yeah.
realizing actually this isn't what I want.
It's like finding yourself through insanity. I think that's
Yeah.
what it is. It's like losing your
Yeah.
mind to
Yeah,
find your
that's it.
soul or something
No,
like
it's
that.
losing your
Yeah,
mind to find your mind. It sounds
yeah,
so contradicting and it's a paradox, but that's like most good things, right? It's all a
yeah.
paradox. You have to, and that's another thing. We think like everyone has this bad connotation of insanity. Like everyone says, "Oh, he's insane," or whatever. But like, why is that so bad? Obviously, if you're
Mhm.
killing people and shit, that's kind of fucked.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. There's
yeah,
the medical thing that
exactly. But
gets
we're
into it.
talking like a metaphorical version of pushing your mind to lose it. Like you have to lose it to find it. For me, anyway.
Mhm.
And all I can do is put my experiences out there. And from what I've seen, the feedback I've had, people are living the same life and have the same aspirations. You know.
Love it.
But that's a
So
perfect way of putting it.
yeah, like what if like someone dropped off 17-year-old kid, right? A year old, right?
Mm.
What is the complete solution? Like what would you have him do
A
from 0
17-year-old
17-year-old, yeah. And let's say he has this like same footballer
idea.
drift.
Yeah, I would. Obviously, again, there's so many variables, but if we're just like gonna go general, um, it's just. I think it's more one. It's something, and this is the problem with then putting it like selling it. It's less what you can tell people. People have to feel it. People have to experience it. You know, they have to look into their own experiences and what's happened to them and what they truly like. Like for me, it was someone I saw talk about like look at what your 10-year-old self wanted, and
Mhm,
that for me then sparked a oh shit, like we're all just literally corruptions of the society we're put in. Like whereas
mhm,
when we're kids, obviously we have less programming to an
mhm,
extent. So that's what I would tell a 17-year-old, like look at what you did when you weren't programmed, when you weren't forced to do something, when you did things for 6 hours and it felt like an hour. You know,
mhm.
things that just feel natural to you. And some people be like, well, that's unrealistic. You can't make a job out of that. Well, why not? Why
Yeah.
fucking not? You know, and that's the only advice. And I think the best advice you could give to anyone: look at what you would do for free. Look at what inspires you. What allows you to feel happy.
And how do you spark that? Because like we're
Yeah,
we're now zeroing in. We're saying, hey, Aaron, you're
yeah,
an artist,
yeah.
right? Your job is to create content and art that would push people in.
Toxicate.
Yeah, intoxicate people,
Mm.
exactly. Find that exogenous viruses
Yeah,
in their
yeah,
mind and just eliminate them, just like
yeah,
and that is the kind of art you're gonna be making, right?
yeah.
What that's you know, eh, it's not advice, right?
Mm.
Like, what are these?
Yeah. That's another. It's like
It's so hard to
differentiating.
talk
It's I'm
about it,
not
yeah,
yeah.
because
I'm not like trying to
yeah,
preach or tell people to live a certain way because I haven't
yeah,
completed life. I don't know shit. I can
yeah,
only go off what I'm saying. But what I want to give to people is like you literally said, like people have viruses and they're
yeah,
programmed to think a certain way, be a certain way, think a certain like whatever. And it's
yeah,
eliminating that. It's
yeah,
understanding to eliminate. You have to go fucking insane. You have to lose your mind to clear your
yeah,
mind. You
yeah,
know, and but you have to go insane over the right things, otherwise you go insane in the worst way possible. You want to go insane in the best way possible, where you're inspired, you feel happy, you're doing shit
yeah,
that just feels effortless, and
yeah.
that's the best way to sort of spark it,
So for
especially with
you,
work.
it would be like find that little kid
Mm.
passion and just go nuts on.
Just go after
Yeah,
what you did as a 10-year-old that just felt like play, like,
yeah,
and when you find that, the pain of things will feel like play. Like for me, when I'm pushing to heart rate that's fucking scary and I feel like my lungs are coming out of my breath, that feels like play. When I'm there
yeah,
writing and my hand is cramping from writing,
mhm,
that feels like
mhm,
play.
yeah,
You know, like, for some people that's pain, but find that thing that makes pain feel like play, and I feel
mm,
like you can go to levels that people only could wish for. That's
yeah.
my I might be wrong. I might be
No,
wrong.
no, there's
Yeah,
like I told you, there's no right or wrong. It's just what can we visualize crystal clearly
to
and the
people.
steps towards it, and
Yeah,
then just hitting that, right?
yeah,
Like without
yeah.
this idea of what does this art lead up to, right? Like what is the
Mm,
next level? What is and that is the next question, which is imagine someone who's your age, right?
yeah,
But is doing like 100x
yeah,
the output.
yeah.
What is that? Can you describe that?
So if someone's my age and they're doing 100 times the output,
Oh yeah, but they're you, like
yeah.
they're you.
And what does that
But
look like?
they might be like an amoral version of you too. That'll just they don't give a fuck. They'll just
Yeah.
but
Do
they'll
whatever pleases them.
but it's 100x and it's you. Like it's like
Okay. I would say,
Shadow Aaron.
yeah, like the devil on your shoulder. I
Uh-huh.
would say not spend much time with family. Yeah.
Okay, so they're not spending time with family.
Yeah. Because obviously if you're talking about 100 times output, there's only a certain amount of hours you have in a day and you have to prioritize. It's to say someone is just
Yeah, but there's
purely
24
out for
hours
me.
in a day. So like I'm
Yeah.
not saying 24 times you 100 times. So there's like other pieces that are like
Yeah.
accelerate, you know.
Yeah. So I would
Yeah.
just say, like, obviously pumping out the content and the message at a rate way faster than what I am, writing more and delivering that more to the world way faster than I am. And obviously this magazine and book idea, working on that every day way more than I am. Connecting with people way more. Although I think I'm quite good. Like I'm always, when people message me, I'm always like happy to welcome them. So that I don't know if you could, because as soon as someone messages me, I'm always happy to either help them or talk to them or tell them they inspire me, you know, if I really like their stuff, all that stuff. But it's not like a super complicated answer. It's just do more.
And what's stopping you from doing that? Like, is it the distractions?
Yeah, well, to be fair, I'm quite good with, if I feel myself, because say if you get distracted with scrolling, or for example, I'm quite good at like not doing that and being like, Aaron, what are you doing? But then in my head, I can also make excuses and be like, oh, well, you're looking for inspiration for a video or whatever, but that's a lie because all my stuff is never usually inspired by someone else. It's just what comes to me and what feels good to me. So I would say my biggest sort of vices and that's also another thing with training as well. Like when you're trying to reach a certain level of fitness, it's a lot of time to dedicate to training. And recently I've been having like this sort of mental grapple of like, do you spend more time training or more time building and creating this message and brand that you want to see? And that's also a battle in itself. Like whenever you're,
I think the training has to come first in this
always
situation, because
that's where I'm going to discover more.
That's where you're gonna
That's
find
my stomping ground.
and testing yourself in different areas, different sports, different whatever, just getting out of your comfort zone.
As much as
Physically.
possible. Well, I
You
feel that's
just
where
find
I've been able, all of this has been born from. So if you neglect that, you're sort of neglecting the whole mission. And that's why I haven't slowed down with it. Because I'm like, this is me. Like if I don't do this, I'm not me, you know?
That's
So I
what I'm
have
saying.
to do
I feel
that.
like, I feel like like as soon as your 9 to 5 ends, like you're like body destruction. Let's go.
Yeah,
And
well,
then
that's
after that
what.
should be writing, you know, or
Yeah,
creating
that's what I
videos
think.
or
Well,
whatever.
the writing can only come because I know what it feels like to be so exhausted where you feel like you're dying. And if you stop experiencing that, because you can only like sort of grasp some motivation from previous experiences for so long. So you need to continuously do that. You need to continuously feel fire on your face to be able to put the fire onto the paper, you know?
And
Or
that's
onto,
what's nice about videos. You can document the moment of
when it happens.
peak exhaustion, right?
Yeah, well,
And you
it's
can
also
rest on that.
tough because you can barely talk.
But that's the beauty of it. Like
Yeah,
that's
exactly. And that's what I try to do with the gym stuff. Obviously, if the gym's packed, it's tough. But when the gym is empty or I use it really late, that's where I can get a few clips and actually talk. And these thoughts that just come to my head, like nothing's ever scripted for me. I just have a thought and let's fucking explode on it. But that's something I could definitely do more. And a few people have actually said, like, I want to see more of the actual gym stuff and what you're thinking in that moment and uncut raw. So that's definitely something I want to do more of because I think people just love that shit, man. Like you said, it's intoxicating. Even when I watch someone has energy and someone that's talking and making me feel a certain way, it's intoxicating. That's the only way to describe it. So if I can put that and make anyone feel a certain way from that, like that's the goal, man.
Yeah, no, and the metaphorical thing is like I just want to caution because like I'm distilling stuff and pointing you in some direction, but the caution is to not be a parody of this guy, right? Like you don't want to be like, oh, everything has to be a metaphor, and you like kind of formalize everything, or it has to be insanity, and for the next 10 years, it might shift to something else, right? Something more pungent, something more, crystal. So I this is not to kind of limit you, but I do
Mm,
think this cycle of extreme output, not even
mm,
like it's exercise is definitely one of the things, but for
yeah,
you, even like that riding till your hands cramp, that
yeah,
moment
yeah,
is also, you know, um, interesting.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah. And
mean?
that happens quite a lot.
You know what I
Probably
mean?
dehydration, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. All of those things, like, uh, I definitely think the discipline to keep that more constant in your life is definitely gonna take you to the next level.
So you're saying don't go to the extreme as much.
No, go more.
Go more.
Like
Oh yeah, okay, cool. Yeah,
go more in a
yeah,
disciplined way because you
yeah.
spending your time thinking about other things like as you
It's a waste
were.
of time.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, nah, yeah, for sure. Nah, for sure.
Because you were
I
talking
need
about
to.
the 100x shadow Aaron, and you're saying
I need to.
he's not spending time with family.
Yeah.
He's pumping out more content. He's delivering content faster,
And there's no
right?
excuses for him. Like if he's tired, he constantly does it. Like again, I'm
Yeah,
quite disciplined, but obviously there's times where then you don't do it because you might be like, oh yeah, I might sleep or this, or your brain naturally just goes to these comfort excuses, you know.
yeah,
So 100x Aaron has no excuses. He's a
yeah.
machine of
He just keeps
destruction.
doing it. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
it doesn't get attention online. It does not demotivate him.
Exactly. Well, yeah, exactly. It's just
Yeah,
constant. And that's also, I think, already is like somewhat of a superpower of mine is I I don't even need like likes or comments or any sort of validation. It's just like I'm quite good at just not looking left or right, just doing,
Mhm.
but I just need to hone in on that and then 10x that, like turn it up almost. And then I just,
So
yeah,
what's the one thing you can change today that would unlock like a new gear?
less people pleasing. So less saying yes to if someone needs something or if someone just more of a priority thing, like saying yes to things when it doesn't need to be said yes. Like it doesn't need to. I don't need to say yes to it. I just need to focus on myself and do it. Unless it's like an urgent matter, and obviously sometimes then things get in the way. But a lot of the time, I can just people please, especially like people close to me, and I
So
think that's
boundaries, like
yeah boundaries. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
that's a
big
massive
durable boundaries.
yeah, that's a massive thing that 100x Aaron it just doesn't give a shit about.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
why do you have problems setting boundaries? Like, if you don't mind me.
I don't know. I actually I'm not too sure. It's just it's more of like a thing that I don't let people down. So if someone needs me, I'm happy to then just put myself aside. I say that, but then there's times when I'm not. But I think that's the one thing that's definitely held me back from like stratospheric output. You know,
Mm.
is like saying yes to people to do things for them. And to answer your question, I actually don't know why. It's more just like an innate thing. Like I want to help that person or do that
But
thing. But
it sometimes a lack of boundaries is a form of martyrdom, you know, like where it's like
mm,
you're sacrificing your potential to
mm,
s-
please
please
others
please people who
wouldn't do the same.
not even wouldn't do the same. It's a little more malicious than that.
Mm,
It's people who don't care about your progress.
yeah, I
You know
haven't
what I
really
mean?
thought about it from that. Yeah.
Where they're like, "Oh yeah, who cares about your thing? My thing is more." And it's like you're an adult, right?
Mm.
You can do your own shit, you
Yeah, it's
know.
true.
And
Yeah, yeah,
I respect your boundaries and stuff, and it's very natural for you to just demand the same.
yeah. No, yeah, 100%. And then say if you then have you feel bad or that person makes you feel bad, is that just
Now that's
something where
manipulation. Now that's bullying.
yeah,
Now that's them not respecting your boundaries.
yeah, yeah. I
You know what I
think
mean?
that's my biggest vice, to be honest. Like it's quite a
Yeah,
vulnerable thing as well, like to admit.
yeah.
Um,
No,
but
but
it's def
it's normal.
yeah,
It comes from a good place,
yeah,
but it is not their fault. It's your fault.
yeah. Well, it only leads to resentment on my part, right? Because I always think, oh, if I
Yeah.
don't get to where I want, it would be like, oh, this person stopped me. And it's like,
Mhm.
no, you stopped yourself because you couldn't say no.
Yeah, and just be more comfortable saying no. Like just
Yeah.
say and a lot of times for me, if something is foreign, I would just commit to saying no automatically for the next 100 days to everything. Just
Yeah.
I'll swing the other side
Yeah. The
super
extreme.
strong to the extreme just
Yeah.
to learn what that is,
Yeah.
because
And
I'm
it's like a
clueless.
muscle, right? You build the muscle saying
Yeah,
no. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not about your niceness being a flaw, because it's not. It's
Yeah.
unbalanced
Yeah.
with ruthlessness. It's unbalanced with all this other stuff that you need
Mm.
to function at
The level I
stratospheric
want.
levels.
Yeah, exactly. That's no, but
Yeah.
that's what I romanticize that. Like I want to have that cutting edge. Even to obviously it's gonna hurt some people's
Mhm.
feelings, like to people close to you, but if you have to say no. And
Yeah.
ultimately a big motivation for me to do well and do big things is to help the people around me. So it's actually saying no in the short term to give you a big yes in the long term.
Yeah, and
You
you
know?
don't even have to think
Yeah,
about it like that. Like, you saying no to things you wanna say no to is who
yeah,
you are,
yeah,
and people are gonna love who you are.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
there's there are people that would love that you say no to things.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? Because that's what you
Yeah,
wanna do,
yeah,
like, it's who you are.
yeah,
So
yeah,
there's no shame in you saying no and someone disliking you, then you don't like me. That's
yeah,
my
yeah,
personality. Like, I'm not that kind of guy. But there are people that are gonna be like, "Oh, okay, no, fantastic. When can you do it?" Like, is there,
yeah, yeah. See, that's what I need more of in my life. People will be
yeah,
like, "Yeah, that's cool. We'll
that's
work
cool,
around
yeah,
you."
moving
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
And the people that don't do that, especially when they're family members, they might be emotionally unstable, and have
That's the thing.
have
Yeah,
been used to bullying and manipulation and all of that. And all you need
yeah,
to do is just be aware of that, and
yeah.
just hold your ground a little bit. It's gonna take time for them to adapt,
Understand. Yeah,
but it's not
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah,
job to heal them.
yeah, yeah. That's the biggest thing. It's understanding. It's not like you're an adult. It's not my
Yeah,
responsibility to do everything for you or always say yes to you. Like
yeah,
that's a you
and it's not
problem.
your responsibility to teach them too
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
about
yeah.
their adultness and their
Yeah,
responsibility. You know what I
yeah, it's
mean?
true. No, it's
It's
so
just
true. It's so
yeah.
true, and it's something I like. It's you probably had similar things where you know something in the back of your head, but you never truly like uncover it or admit it because obviously, if you admit it, you're gonna upset some people because you have
Mhm.
to make changes
Yeah.
to suit your goals and your
Mhm.
ambitions. And yeah, it's a reality that I think anyone who has goals or ambition has to face. You got to say no.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
just have to be aware of these things, like, just them happening without the awareness, you getting
Mm,
bullied without you knowing that you're getting bullied or whatever.
mm,
Like, you just be aware of it and then make the best decisions you can, right? So you
yeah.
can be kind to, if it's somebody you really care about and they're super whatever, knowing they're manipulating, but
Mm,
also creating some sort of like, "Hey, I
boundary.
understand, maybe
Yeah.
whatever, maybe later." You give them a
Yeah.
little bit of exceptions, whatever, that's up to you.
Yeah.
But you gotta know what you're seeing.
But the problem is like obviously like nature in
Mhm,
nature I'm quite like kind and I'll give exceptions, but then I've read so many books and listened to so many podcasts on like
mhm.
these top performers in all sorts of arenas, and they're just the one common trait is they just don't give a shit. Like, they'll just say no, fuck you, I'm doing this, and then it's just like
But that's because they understand the payoff of saying no.
yeah,
They'll still say yes to their wife, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
And, like, same with
things
me,
that
like,
truly matter.
yeah, like my
Yeah,
wife sometimes demands way too much time, and
mm,
my priority is to have a great relationship with.
yeah,
Like, that is, like how people wanna be super rich and whatever. For
yeah,
me, having a super relationship with my wife,
matters more.
so I would stop doing what I'm doing to,
Mm.
make her feel heard and, like,
But at what
she can
point would
spend
you
more.
then say like the female was requiring too much, or at what point would you define too much, or whether that be a wife or a family member or whatever? What at what point is too much, or is that very
It's
change? Like it's just hard to pinpoint one
no,
thing.
it is the commitments you make.
Mm,
It is the commitments you make. Like, she's my wife,
yeah,
right? She's not my
yeah,
girlfriend.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
That's your life partner.
there's a commitment there
Yeah,
where it's like, I'm committed to make her feel safe and emotionally like
stable.
she can rely on me with anything. She can come and make jokes and whatever. I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, I'm busy," or whatever.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So that's but the way I've adapted was okay. She wakes up at 10 a.m., 11 a.m.
Yeah,
So I'm waking up at 5, and
yeah,
I
getting
have my
some shit
time.
done. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So it's can I adapt? Or like she sleeps early, then I'm staying up late.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's
So you
those
work around
decisions.
those commitments.
Yeah, and exactly, and I create that. So, but also communication. You know,
Yeah,
it's you snapping and feeling resentment, whatever. Anything emotional is not healthy. But you
yeah,
saying not at the like not at the time of the offense. Like let's say somebody violates your boundaries, right?
yeah,
And you love them.
yeah,
You you know whatever. You're kind. The next day, three
yeah,
days later, hey, can I talk to you about something?
yeah,
And you can communicate and like because they want to support you in that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
There's a way to go about it,
if you
obviously.
can just communicate, hey, this is important to me. You know,
Yeah.
it might seem meaningless to you, it might seem lame to you, but for
And
me,
if
it's
that
super
person took
important.
it personally, would that just be a sign to remove them from your life?
If yeah, if they're
Yeah.
like no, and they're like they
Mm.
just can't see, like you
Yeah.
give them just calmly talk about it, you know, and
Mm.
like tell them, hey, I
Yeah.
really want
Yeah.
to discuss this, and if they can't see it for you, you know, like maybe they're not right for you for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you just see it with so many like friends, family, relationships, even
Yeah.
like where just people like the perfect way is bullying, like
Mhm.
unfiltered. It's a way of bullying someone into not following their dreams
Mhm.
because I don't know whether it's like I don't know why people do it, whether they just can't see the vision, they're like jealous of that person who wants more, or I don't know what it is, why
It's
people
all of
do
it.
it.
It's
Yeah, I
it's
don't
all
know.
of it, and none of it is your business, right? Like,
Yeah,
who
no, so
cares?
true. Yeah,
You know,
no,
like,
it's a good point.
you know,
That's just
yeah,
a big bottleneck for me in
mhm,
personal development is just, I need to say no more. Alex Hormozy says it all the time. He says no
yeah,
to fucking everything.
yeah. Just say no. Just say no, and don't feel the need to explain yourself. That is the biggest one.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, no,
yeah,
why? Because I just can't. Like this,
yeah,
it's. I just don't want to do it.
yeah, exactly.
That's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
it's feeling no shame about that, like saying that
no
and be
shame.
like,
Yeah, because I'm
yes,
telling you, like the people who have benefited it to this point, where they can be like, hey, I can manipulate Alan into doing what I want to do.
yeah,
I can bully him into whatever because this is part of your personality, right? Like you
yeah,
remember the magnet?
yeah,
This is who you're attracting
yeah, yeah, yeah,
with your behavior.
yeah, so
But
true.
once your behavior is like, nah, can't do it, see you later. People who are attracted to that, more stable, healthier people who understand boundaries are not
Yeah,
gonna be like, oh yeah, Alan, you know, good guy, has
it's busy.
boundaries. Yeah, he's busy. You know, you
Yeah,
can catch him on a Saturday, you know. But
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
like they'll find what works, and like they'll still want to connect. They'll still want to, you know, spend time. It's just not. It's with respect to your boundaries.
Yeah, yeah, nah,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Moving
Just
on.
gonna get the charge for my laptop. Yeah, give me 2 seconds.
All right.
Okay,
All right. We're almost at the finish line.
okay, I'm back in.
We're almost there.
Nah, it's
The
been good.
finish.
Honestly, I appreciate it a lot, to be honest.
It's my pleasure. All
Yeah.
right. Describe the most genius
The most genius
artist.
artist. Oh, that's very subjective.
Yep. It's according
Did
to
I
you.
cut out?
No, no, you're
Okay.
good. You said that's very
Yeah, I'm good.
subjective, and I'm like, yeah, the question is
Yeah.
subjective. Yeah.
Um, the most genius art. And when we say artist, could that be a founder? Does that have to be someone who writes or draws? Could be anything.
Doesn't even matter. It's whatever however you take that question.
Because you could even talk about athletes. I would describe that as an art. I would say someone I personally look up to a lot is McGregor. Obviously, his
Mhm.
personal actions, I can't speak for too, especially nowadays. Now he's got money, But when you hear him talk about how he treated mixed martial arts, like coming up and what got him to the heights he's at, it was viewing it for such, like, when you look at MMA, it's just two guys brawling, grappling, whatever. When you heard him speak about it, he turned it into like he was painting a canvas, like how he would deconstruct a fighter's game, how he would then use their weaknesses and to sort of exploit their weaknesses through his strengths, and how he would see things before they've even happened, essentially, like the whole like manifestation, the whole even just his dedication to the game, treating it to a whole new level of artistry to what any fighter had done at that time. Anyway, now you see it, more people do it, but him, for me, seeing that and hearing him talk about it, I can then apply it to my own art, whether that be writing or thing. But for me, he's definitely in my head like a top genius artist.
Yeah. Who else is doing it, bro? Like, but since Connor, I haven't seen anyone
since
doing
Connor.
it.
Yeah, no, not many. Especially the way like he has a way when he talks. Again, it's intoxicating. You know, it makes you want to just find. It makes you want to find art in anything. Like the same way we were talking about the cabinet or the spray. It's breaking things down and seeing it for the parts and the fragments to then paint this picture of what is then MMA. And what is the cabinet, or what is the spray, or what is that car zooming past me? You know, there's a million sort of aspects to one thing. And by him breaking MMA the way he did down, just opened my mind up to a way of thinking that I can't ever thank him for. Maybe one day, but yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And
You're
again,
right.
he lost his mind. Like he probably pushed it when he was flipping punching old guys in a pub. Like he probably did push it too far to a point where he did lose his mind a little bit. But when he done an interview and he was like talking about when his wife has a different car for every day, his mum has this for every day, or whatever, then losing his mind will be all worth it. You know, and yeah, I think there's obviously it's a bit sadistic, but I think there's beauty in that sort of level of craziness.
No, it's great. Like I agree with you. When Connor was like in his prime, it was like
different.
expected.
Yeah, it was different, man.
Like I used to just like watching not even the fights. I just like
Just him
watched like
talk.
press conferences
Yeah.
before and after, and like just
Exactly. And then even when you hear him break down these, like, you'd think he's just witty and he says it on the fly, but when you would hear like why he said certain things, how he got underneath, like even that's an art, and how he used to just break people down mentally before he did physically. It's crazy.
It's great.
Crazy.
Yeah, I love McGregor. Describe the most genius team.
Team. Again, like that could be a business, a sport, whatever. Or are we talking about like my ideal version of a team?
It can be either. Even
Well,
the artist one didn't have to be a person. You could
yeah,
have
it could just be an ideal. Yeah. I think an ideal team is adaptability, like being malleable, being able to, but malleable with a focus, because obviously if you're too malleable, then you go away from your visions. So it's about being malleable in the micro, but in the macro being like tunnel vision. And a team that comes straight to mind, I don't know if you've seen it, you know, the Michael Jordan documentary? Yeah, I've watched that like 20 times. That's not even an exaggeration, honestly. And when you see the dynamic behind there, I think obviously in a team, it's important to have the leader or someone that sort of steers the boat, and then everyone playing a team where everyone knows their roles. So whether that be a huge team, obviously it's better of a small team because it's easier to manage, but where everyone knows exactly what they're doing and their output is 100% on that. Like in that Bulls team, Dennis Rodman knew all he was there was to rebound, give it to Jordan. Pippen was there to assist Jordan and give the ball to Jordan. Jordan was there to do what Jordan did. Then you had even just the roles of the bench players, like this guy would come on and you knew he could shoot a three, give him the ball on the edge, unmarked. He's sinking that every time. And I think when you look at the best teams in sports, in business, everyone knows exactly what they're doing. It's like a well-oiled machine. And it only gets messy when people are over-leveraged and then trying to do a million things and not one thing great, you know?
I love it.
Yeah.
So in your movement, like the insanity movement, the scapegoat is mediocrity.
Yeah.
Let's dig deeper there. Like
Okay.
let's
Some people get
describe.
offended by that as well, because like obviously it probably makes me seem like I lack empathy for people that are happy with less, because some people are happy with less. And I'm not saying like I need all the I don't really care about materialistic possessions. When I say less, I mean people are just happy to be content
I think
with
you
where
should
they
stop
are.
explaining yourself, bro, for these tangents you go on,
Yeah.
where it's like I can be misinterpreted into some crazy guy or like a guy who lacks
Yeah.
empathy, all of that.
Drop it.
Just drop.
Yeah.
No one cares. Like anybody who knows you is gonna know you're a sweet guy who's
Yeah.
empathetic and the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah. Yeah.
people who want to judge you, they're gonna judge you for something else, even if you do explain yourself.
Yeah. It's true. They're always
You
going to
know,
find something in it.
they're fine. They're
Yeah.
just that kind of person. They're the kind of person who, like, a lot of times when I get hate on Twitter, I just go to the profile and see the replies, and you see they're just replying
Same
like a
people
piece
to
of shit
everything.
to
Yeah.
everybody, and it's
Yeah.
just like I'm not even wasting my time with you, bro.
Yeah. No,
You
some
know.
people are so
So
bitter. Yeah.
so who are you explaining yourself to or for?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's true. Again, it's another probably vice in a
Yeah.
way, like you're always trying to cover your back when it's like, why? They're gonna
Right.
come jump on your back anyway. Just
Yeah.
let them.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like the Cat Williams. He's like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
he's like, oh, you got 20 haters. Figure out how to get 40 by the end of the
It-
week.
no, it's true. It's so
Yeah,
true, because if you're pleasing everyone, you're not diving deep enough. I don't think.
yeah. And if you're not
Yeah.
creating haters, you're just not making waves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 100%. No,
And
150%.
there,
Anyone that's done something has people that hate what they do. Steve Jobs,
100.
people call him, he was a maniac, he was so
Yeah,
rude,
he's
whatever. But guess
abusing
what?
his
He fucking
employees.
changed the world, and you're using what he's made. So shut
Yeah,
up. Do you know what I
exactly,
mean?
exactly. Yeah. So fuck that. But let's zoom in on the mediocrity. Right?
Yeah.
Who is who is mediocrity? What is mediocrity? Why should we sacrifice mediocrity like the goat it is? You know.
Well, I think it's just a mindset that, one, like you said, and you can actually link it to this imitation thing. People imitate. So the more mediocre people are, that multiplies, that compounds, because people see that and they think that's okay. And I think it's not okay because, as I was saying, we haven't progressed as a society by staying still. And I get some people play their roles and you have to be somewhat mediocre. Like you need to have what amount of mediocre people,
Mhm.
whatever that even means is again up for debate. But I just think for me, mediocre is a mindset of settling for less or settling for a lack of improvement and denying the potential that you have within you. Because whether you like it or not, the power you have within you, it's infinite. You can do whatever the fuck you want. Like people that have achieved great things, some people are talented, some people are not in different things, but you only discover talent by trying. Like Ronaldo wouldn't have been Ronaldo if he didn't kick a ball. Messi wouldn't have been Messi if he didn't kick a ball. Steve Jobs wouldn't have been Steve Jobs if he didn't learn how to mess with computers, or didn't explore. You have to make an active choice to not be mediocre and push further. So I think by choosing not to do that, by choosing to settle for average, settle for a 9 to 5 for 60, 70 years, then taking a paycheck to retire, that's bullshit, because we didn't do that. We've never done that. We've only evolved from pushing, running further, doing more, working harder, you know?
I love it.
And yeah, people will imitate mediocrity, and I think that's just poison.
I love it.
I
And you
yeah,
kept using the word "we" there, and that's the second question. Have you seen Spartacus, the first Spartacus?
yeah, yeah,
So you know that scene where it's like,
yeah,
I am Spartacus. I am
yeah, yeah,
Spartacus.
yeah, yeah,
So what is that for you? Like, what is that? Like he did it for freedom, right?
yeah,
People assumed the identity of Spartacus. They were like, I am
yeah.
Spartacus because they wanted to give their life for freedom. What is that for you? What is the thing that?
Mine's more, I want people to exhaust themselves, and what that looks like for everyone is completely different. Your term of
But why would
exhausted,
anybody want to sacrifice their life metaphorically
yeah.
for that exhaustion flag?
Because I think that's how we then find our limits, find our potential. Like you might think you have potential, so let's go out and find it. And to find it, you have to be completely out of breath. You have to work hours that you didn't think you could work. You have to have a lack of sleep that you didn't think you could live off. You have to find these thresholds to understand what you could be, and you just don't find that if you don't push that.
And what about someone comes and says, "But what about burnout?" What do you think about?
Burnout's a thing, 100%. Like I experienced that recently. I did a challenge in Scotland, and it was 400 kilometers over 8 days that I hadn't really trained for. Like, I hadn't been on a mountain for 2 years, and then I go do a mountain race 400 kilometers. So it was pretty dumb, but by doing that, I took way more away from it than it took away from me. Like, I definitely think it had an impact on my nervous system, my mind. For even up to now, like, my fitness doesn't feel the same. I feel like something metabolically was crashed in there. And I've never fully really recovered. Like, they say you need 4 to 6 weeks of no exercise after a race like that in conditions that we were in. And I was back training within a few days, you know. And obviously, yeah, youth helps that. If you're older, it's going to be more a struggle. But I think by going to that level and completely burning out, and honestly, you feel like you just have nothing left. I don't know. It's like a freeing sense, and it's like a.
So you embrace burnout almost.
Yeah. I think you have to burn out to understand what you're capable of. Like, if I didn't do that, I would have thought, oh, I can't do that on barely any training. Like, that's not possible. But I did do it, and it was possible. And guess what? In the next challenge, I'm going to go with a new sense of confidence because I know what I can do. And that's the same with burnout. It's, you won't ever know what burnout is unless you experience it. You won't know how to battle it, how to then combat it. So next time you get to that threshold of burnout and going over the cliff, you know, okay, I can dial it back a bit. I can recover a bit more. I might need a bit more sleep here. But if you never get to that, you're never going to know. You're never going to know what your limit is. And it's like a muscle. Like, the more stress you put it under, the better it gets. So burnout, I'm not saying you should go to burnout every couple of months, but
you should know what it is.
Yeah, and you should get to that level. Yeah, get to that level where you're teetering on the edge, and that's how you improve. It's staying in that, like, that line of maximum output and just staying below that before you then obviously go over the cliff.
Hello.
Yeah,
it's such a good perspective.
Yeah, I heard even Alex Emoji was talking about it. He was just like, the idea isn't to go 1,000,000 miles per hour and burn out every 2 months, because that's what will happen. But it's finding that level, and sometimes you will teeter over the edge. Like, as you know, you will go too far, but you have to go there to know what's too far. Otherwise, you never know, and you're always asking, "What if?"
Yeah, no, it's great.
Yeah.
I love it. So who are we? Who are, like, people?
Crazy people.
Crazy people.
Crazy people.
Yeah.
People that don't want to settle for less. People that feel like there's more inside them. Specifically, like, especially if you're in an area or a place, a town where everyone's so average thinking. Like, it's a bit different in America because I feel like more Americans are bigger thinkers. It's
the same. It's because America is not New York, San Francisco, LA.
Yeah, it's not these big cities.
Boston.
Yeah,
it's not America.
Yeah,
those are the places that these kinds of people concentrate in.
Yeah.
You know, but the rest of America is the same thing.
Average, yeah, and that's what we want to stay away from. We want to go towards people. I almost want to be like like New York personified in a person. You know, people like will come to me and want to connect with me, and I can connect with them that want more, do more, be more. You know, and just not settle for the average that like literally plagues most places. Especially where I'm from, like this, a lot of my friends at the time, like in high school, prison, drugs, all of that stuff, and it's like, where's that going to get you? Like, you're given one life, you get a fragment of time. When you consider what time is and Earth, etc., you get a fragment, and you want to waste it doing no good, not even trying to make an impact on people's lives. I find that the biggest waste ever, for me personally.
Love it. Who are our icons? So these crazy people. Who's the iconic crazy people?
Oh, we could go on all day. Jobs, 100%. One. Musk, Kobe. Kobe's a big one, especially like growing up. But it's weird because I've never really played basketball, but I've always liked to watch it and like support it. So Kobe for me was like a big one. I have this, not in my room right now, but in my room at home, I have this like big board of him like celebrating. It's just pretty cool. And then obviously when I watched the Michael Jordan documentary, Jordan, he was fucking crazy. That guy was
Jordan's house.
And his was like a cynical, like he just wanted to crush everyone. You know, Kobe was like more, how good can I be? Jordan's like, how much better can I be than everyone else? Does that make sense? And that level of twistedness is something like I glorify. and aspire to only reach. But there's so many. Another version of Crazy, McGregor brought himself to limits. Like probably has fallen off, but he also made hundreds of millions and can chill. Other crazies. There's I actually listened to a recent Founders podcast. You know Enzo Ferrari, the guy who built Ferrari. When you listen to his podcast on Enzo Ferrari, that guy was nutty, and that's why Ferrari became to be what it came to be. And there's so many from Founders podcast, like even Michael Dell, the guy who made the Dell laptop. That guy was fucking crazy too. Like he was 19 when he started Dell. To even have the belief that you could build something like that at 19, crazy. And yeah, it's just there's honestly there's so many that you can count. Even he made a recent one on Todd Graves, the chicken finger guy. And he, like Todd Graves, he would be in his house and he would be watching the shop across the road. And if he needed, or if there was a problem, whatever, he would then go sprinting over and sort it all out. Bear in mind, he owned the business. He wasn't in the drive-throughs. He wasn't in the kitchen, but he would be in there every single day, stock checking, making sure everything's good. Like you just don't see that in people who run businesses now. And I think there's such a beauty to that. But yeah. Tangent.
It's not a tangent. It was the question.
Yeah.
So Founders Podcast, you love Founders Podcast. He's doing a great job, David.
Yeah. Well, we on Twitter I actually made a group a while ago called The Pit. I don't know if Zach mentioned it when he was on a TBTN, the start of thing. I'll actually add you after this because we've had such a good interaction. And Founders Podcast is in there. He's in this group chat with us. And he's popped in a few times and he chats because Zach added him. But it's basically just a bunch of guys that are either building stuff, fitness fanatics, and just a bit screw loose. This like thing we're talking about, being New York as a place for people, but like being a person, like personifying New York in a person. Sort of what we want to make the Pit. And there's a few people in there that you would like really love to connect with, talk with, and we'll get you in. But yeah, just found the podcast. He drops in every now and then, drops a few messages.
He's great. Yeah, David Santos.
Yeah, he's sick.
Because like when I was writing the book, I told you like I was writing a book. It was like I did what David Sandler did, and then I just found David Sandler, and I'm like, I'm like, man, someone did it better than me.
Like, he's even when he talks, you feel that energy.
Yeah, bro. Like reading, like I love David Sandler's takes on a lot of the biographies. But you just going out and reading them by yourself,
so good,
bro.
So good.
Like, just getting especially like Yvonne's book.
Yeah,
that book.
Who?
Your Yvonne Chouinard, the Patagonian guy.
I ain't seen that. Good.
Oh, check out the David Sandler one. But the book "Let My People Go Surfing."
Yeah,
just such a good book.
Or
like the Phil Knight book. Like
his book list recommendation thing. Obviously, where he gets all of his content for the podcast, so good. I bought literally about 20 books from his thing.
Hell yeah. No, he's doing such a good job. Like I love David Sandler, but like I always tell people, because I had that experience, like I was doing what David Sandler was doing, like all these books are like the books I write for my like when I was writing the book. And they're like biographies, right? Like this is like my biography.
Shoe Dog, that's such a good one.
Yeah. And when I found him, I'm like, hell yeah, but his takes are not what I got out of the books.
Yeah, well, it's good. Everyone's going to take different things as well,
That's
and you can always learn.
So it's good to kind of listen to the Founders Podcast as kind of an entry point.
Yeah,
but then go and reading it yourself, or like vice versa, reading it yourself. And
you need to. You need to. You have to, because obviously. There's, like you said, he puts it into an hour, but this book could take you a week, 2 weeks through, however fast you want to read.
And it's how he resonates. Like it's his tuning fork, right? Like,
exactly. Like someone that he might not, I don't know, align with as much. We might align with 99%.
Exactly.
And that's I'll definitely add you to the Pit after. It's a fucking cool group. You'll enjoy
it. All right, bad signal.
Batman, nice.
You hit the bad signal when there's crime. Batman shows up.
Yeah.
What is the bad signal for your band?
Oh, it's got to be insanity. It's got to be just crazy, man. I'm addicted
Oh,
to
yeah.
like people that are fucking crazy about, even if
Yeah.
it's like something so silly, like someone might love anime. Someone just when you hear someone talk about their passion, it's
Mhm.
like, fuck, this is making me want to. This makes you feel something. You know, I
I
don't even
love
know
it.
about whether, like, again,
Yeah.
deodorant. Like, someone could make deodorant
Mm.
cans. Like, even there's a guy in the pit. He's called Caleb, and he has a coffee brand called Seek. And just when you then see his product, when you see him talk about it, it just fires you the fuck up. You're like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is sick. And it's the
Yeah.
same with, honestly, like same with you when you've spoken
Mm.
to people that are passionate about their craft, what they do,
Mm.
what they like to do. It's a different sort of energy. So that
Yeah.
would be my signal. Anyone that's talking about something they love,
It
that's
was
what
just
I'm going
nuts.
towards.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I love it. And that, like, the second question is like, the next question is kind of, I keep calling it the second question, where like question 17. I'm like,
Yeah.
second question. And then the next question, it's, kind of like, if there was all of this Allen energy, brain, everything,
Mm,
you condense it into like a logo and put it on a hat.
mm.
Why would anyone want to wear a hat? Like, what does it say about them?
Well, it's about. I think it would have to be about what I represent. The insanity message I push out of pushing that boundary, pushing that limit. When you wear, if I was to make a logo, that
Mm,
logo isn't just a little design on a hat.
mm,
It's representing. I am fucking crazy. I'm in. I embrace crazy, and all I want is crazy. You know. And when I look at the best brands, that people don't. Not very often people wear clothes, merch, whatever, because of the quality or whatever. Like, there's
mhm.
only so good quality you can get,
Yeah.
but it's what it means. Like, if I wear Nike, I'm
Mhm,
serious about my sport.
mhm,
I like sport. You know, if I wear even Founders, I think he has a hat that says Founders on it. People that wear that are
mhm,
trying to tell people, I listen to Founders. I want to do something more in my life because I listen to
mhm.
all these Founders. You know, that's the reality.
Yeah.
Or Gucci, Prada, whatever.
Mhm,
Like, these guys are wearing it because they're like, oh, I have money, I'm wearing Gucci. You
mhm.
know, that is just the way we
It's the
are.
status
So
symbol, yeah. Like, the
yeah,
status symbol is saying, I embrace crazy.
yeah.
I'm not afraid of crazy.
I'm not normal. I don't want
Yeah.
mediocrity. That's if I was to ever have a logo on something, it would be I would want people to wear it if they want death to mediocrity.
That's mediocrity. I like it. All right.
Even like, what's that hat you have there?
It's Nantucket.
What's that?
It's an island off of Massachusetts. 10 out of 10.
I mean,
Beautiful.
exactly. That's why you're wearing
Yeah.
it because you
Yeah.
love the island.
Yeah. But I
Yeah,
go, yeah, in the summers. I love going
yeah.
there. It's the
And
best
obviously, like
summer
colors
location.
and stuff. Like, you're not gonna wear that hat if it was maybe if you would, but if it was bright pink and green, you know, you might not wear it. Obviously, it has to look nice as well,
Yeah, yeah,
but it's
yeah.
more about like what it represents. It's not hard to make something look nice. It's hard
Yeah.
to build the curation behind what it actually means.
Yeah, yeah, I love Nantucket. I also love this brand. It's called Faraday, and they're the only brand that makes this kind of like super soft
Yeah,
blend,
nice. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
it's
It's like
it's
a.
it's like comfy as hell.
Nah,
So
I'm usually a hat guy myself, so I like it.
yeah, so the
Yeah,
quality is
it's
like,
good.
it's insane, bro. Like, do you have one of these? Like, one of these, like,
Yeah, I have a running cap that has a similar
yeah,
material to that, where it's super
yeah,
flexy. Yeah, it's
and
nice.
yeah, and it's like, feels just way
But what I
better.
like about that one, it seems to have more shape on top than what running hats have, because I don't like the
Yeah,
running hat have weird shape, whereas that has a bit
mhm,
more sturdiness to the shape, but still the flexy on the
exactly.
cap.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's like a baseball cap with a flexi thing. I know
yeah,
the running hats. It's like they have like a sort of
straight. Yeah, it's
bill.
weird. It's proper
Yeah,
gay. Yeah,
yeah,
nah,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
Yeah,
proper gay,
no,
man.
this this hat. Like, I wish all hat companies did
Built
the
like
same
that.
thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, hat tangent. Anyways, all right, bro. Final question.
Yep. Hit me.
Imagine your life at peak impact. I want you to draw your impact at that moment on a different page.
So what I the same image, not the same image, same vision as before, just different images.
It might not be the same vision. It's just,
Mm.
just put yourself at peak impact. Like, just close your eyes, feel peak impact, You know, like
Mm.
you're an athlete. You know about visualization.
Mm, mm, mm.
Visualize peak impact. Feel it. Take as much time as you want. Feel it. Come back from that power and put it on a page.
Okay, I think we've got a final portrait.
Let's get.
I tried to, well, not tried to, like I sort of just put in a mindset I wasn't going to put anything similar to the old one because I want to, new thoughts. So this is it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's break it down a bit.
Yeah.
So firstly, we got the first thing. This is actually the first thing I drew was just because we were talking about like death to mediocrity.
Yeah.
First thing that comes to my mind was the scene in King Kong when he's at the top of I think it's the Empire State Building, and he's got all these helicopters, and sort of just picture myself as King Kong being insanity and the helicopters being mediocrity, and just like fighting off like people that would think would have more power in the natural, I don't know, political, I don't know what the word is, just the way the world is, like, and they have all the power of mediocrity, and then me just being some weird little monkey climbing to the top trying to spread a new message that not everyone agrees with, but people want to get behind. Yeah, then I got just a little guy with fire on his head painting his picture, a canvas of insanity, and that would, like, at the peak of my impact, I would want to feel like I've painted this canvas from nothing about what I love and still have the motivation, which is the fire on my head. And obviously this one's just a little dollar with wings, because although money isn't everything, I also believe that you sort of need money to make a true impact. And that would be the idea, just to use money as a way to fly the message higher, essentially. Then just this little shooting star, which is just to basically always feel like you're just going towards a goal. So even I don't really believe in like peak, because I just think we're always shooting for more. While still being happy with where we are, but just being a shooting star, heading for the stratosphere, essentially. And then I actually drew again to like sort of signify speed, was like a supercar with like wind, to sort of just always speed, iteration, make mistakes, fuck up, win, continuous. But then I put it into a bus because I want it to be more like me and my people, me and the people that I resonate with, I care about most. And rather than it be a supercar, which is 2-seat, I'll be in a bus which can hold unlimited amounts,
Yes,
Ferrari engine. Yeah, Ferrari engine in a big bus. Then I have little shackles that are like unreleased, to sort of just, I would like to hope at peak impact, I feel like nothing's holding me back from doing more. No sort of metaphorical shackles, no real life shackles, touch wood. And just feel free, feel like I can say and do and achieve whatever I want. And then that ties into this sun, which just has a big no on it, because I want that to be like the forefront of everything that drives me more, is just be able to say no. Let that be your son. Like, let that be something that people admire about you rather than tear you down for.
Absolutely.
And then there's the last one, just a little guy at the end laying down, because I feel like to really put my message out there, I need to fully exhaust myself to be able to preach and dig to depths that I need to inspire people and intoxicate people. And that's just a little version of me completely broken on the floor.
Love it.
Yeah. Oh wait, last one. And then also throughout the whole thing, there's just loads of little peaks to show that we're never at the peak, where there's always another peak to climb.
I love it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.